Hey, everybody, it's me, Tony T.C. Coleman, and Drummer Knows Best, my unlimited podcast. Welcome back. Today, I got a young man that I'm really happy to see doing well. He's doing so good. He's getting on my nerves. No, I love this guy. He's from Louisiana, where my roots are in Louisiana. I think we might be related. Look, today I'm holding my guitar that I got it. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But the young man I'm talking about, and we're going to do this two parts on this one because it was so long. We was just quacking so much. DK Harrell. This is part one. Check it out, DK. Hey, Tony T.C. Coleman. Drummer knows. That's what I'm talking about. Subscribe, like, and share on all platforms. I got him on my podcast. DK Harrell. Hey, DK Harrell, say something.
Hey, Tony, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Aren't you so happy to be on my podcast? Aren't you?
I'm ecstatic.
I can tell you're just so excited. Calm down, you're so excited.
I mean, I'm so excited. I don't want to be here.
Okay, that's how we're gonna kick it off. Okay.
No, I'm messing.
No, come on. That's how
I'm
we're gonna
messing.
kick it off, right?
I'm messing.
I love you, right?
Tony, we're on a podcast. People will be hearing this.
Sorry, that was
Dignity in class, Tony. Dignity in class.
So, DK, for those of you who don't know who DK Harrell is, and I'm sure you know who he is, but this young man is doing extremely great things with his career. He just started off. He did his first record, and I had the honor and pleasure of being on it with him, along with Gerald Germon and Jim Pugh and Kid Anderson, and it's a great record, and it sounded so nice. He had to go and do another one without me on Alligator. It went on Alligator, and I'm sorry. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Did I say that? What was the name of the first? What was the name of the first record, DK?
Well, my dear friend, the first record was titled "The Right Man," of course, on the Little Village Foundation.
Yes.
And for those who are watching and listening, I did not purposely excuse Tony from being on the second record. We had an idea to do something a little different.
You don't have to explain that. I was just throwing a lick. You don't.
No, I have to explain it because it's drummers knows best. And since we are discussing drummers, those drummers on the second record were June Core and Derek DeMar Martin, who was with Little Richard, and June Core was like he was like a student of Willie Dixon. For what I heard, that he spent a lot of time with Willie Dixon learning how to do Chicago blues the right way. Everything from slow blues to shuffles. DeMar provided, not only, the rock and roll side of the beats that we needed for certain tunes that were kind of up tempo and funky, but he also provided some mid tempo stuff as well that was pretty good. So, but anyway, we're talking about Tony Coleman, who is the best blues drummer in the world. You probably the only real blues drummer left. All these other guys, they learned it from TC. And they learned it from Caleb Infrey, boom, chank, boom, chank, boom, chank. They learned all of that. And, and just like Tony learned from, I can't think of that guy's name, but you tell this great story about when you were playing with Bobby Bland and, you guys were doing Don't Cry No More.
Peony. Harrell Portier. Yeah.
Peony. And you was over there watching him. He was like, "Don't look at me! Don't you look at me!" Like that. That's some sick stuff, man. That's sick. But
this is supposed to be about you, not about me.
I know. I'm just saying, like, but
I'm not telling that story. I'm gonna talk about you because I'm always telling stories about myself.
I'm not
gonna go there. I'm not.
I've learned so much from you through your stories. Even though they can be very funny, like, it's kind of like that thing when they say every joke has a little bit of truth in it.
Right.
So it's like with you, with all these musicians like yourself that I've met, these legends, even when you guys tell a funny story, there's some truth, and a lesson in it, and in that story, it's just don't hire a crazy drummer. But I hired you for the first record, so I failed that rule. Don't hire a crazy drummer, but it worked out. But yeah, Tony and I have known each other now for uh 9 years. We actually met over social media first before we met in person. I was posting videos on Facebook, and I think they got rid of that Facebook page. It was like a page called like All About the Blues or something.
Yeah.
And I was posting videos of myself playing the backing tracks, and I get a message in like 2017 from Tony. He's like, hey, who do you think you are? No, I'm just joking. But he was like, he was like, hey, young man, I like what I hear. Can I call you? And I was like, sure. And instead of a regular phone call, he did a video call. And I remember it was kind of in the evening where I was. I want to say it was probably about 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
My mother was, I think my mother was in like her nightgown, and we're like sitting on the couch, and he's like, "I like what you're doing. I think the boss would be very happy if he, heard you and etc." And I was just like, "Oh God, this is Tony Coleman. I can't believe this." But I wasn't like, I wasn't like fangirling, but in my head, I was like, "Man, this is really Tony Coleman." Like this is one of the last guys who played with BB. Before he went on, and
Right.
not many can say that. So, and then of course just the history that you have with him from 78, to the time of his passing, that was a pretty cool moment of how we met each other. And it also shows the power of the internet as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
because if this was 40 years ago and somebody said, "Hey, do you know DK Harrell?" You'd be like, "Man, he trying to be like the boss. Cancel that man. Don't play his music. He trying to be like BB. BB, you hear this young man trying to be like you?" And BB would probably be like, "Well, son, like I say, if you're gonna play like somebody, try to be yourself while doing so." So it's just and then we
Well,
finally met him. Go ahead, I'm sorry. This is your
no,
podcast. I'm
no,
just
this is
talking away.
no. I got to talk to you, but I
Okay.
want you to continue. But I just want to say something about what you're saying. A lot of people try to sound like BB King, and nobody's going to sound exactly like BB King. We all know that, but it's an honor and a privilege to see a young, particularly a young black American guy playing BB style flavored blues, and honoring him like that. And I just think it's great. I mean, the critics are gonna be, he's trying to sound like BB, blah blah blah. That does not matter, man, because you're doing it in a way that's still DK Harrell. I mean, BB he never had the exuberance on stage like you did as far as doing your splits and things of that nature. So you like doing Chuck Berry with BB King. No, I'm serious. You like doing Chuck Berry with BB King and James Brown with BB King as far as your performance, and that's the good thing. And your youthfulness and your exuberance is great. I love it. So keep doing what you're doing because you are the future. I mean, you're gonna be doing this, and you're gonna grow and learn and get better and better, or worse and worse. But I think you'll get better and better. Uh, okay,
Worse
that
and
was
worse.
that was a little, but anyway, I think you're great, and keep doing what you're doing, and we'll talk about that later. Now, finish the story.
I digress. The the but the first time we met in person was at the BB King symposium, and it was my first symposium that I had ever did. That was 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to say it was the first Thursday in September, so it was like September 9th or something of that nature. And I remember the topic was the British invasion because it had Eddie Chain Willis's wife there. Um, They had Jamie Johnson there, which you made that happen. And
Randy Houser.
yeah, I was about to say Randy Houser. Ben Wright was there. Mr. Wright was there.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright. And this is not a shot at Mr. Wright, but what I learned that day about Mr. Wright when he spoke was that he sounds so much like Maya Angelou. When he was giving his spiel about the record business and working with Quincy Jones, he was like, when you record with a legend like Quincy, it's indeed an honor. It's like if Nile Rodgers and Maya Angelou had a baby because he got the
Right.
hair, and, like it's real cool. But he was a real cool dude, and he was. What I really liked about him was that how laid back he was. But I met Tony in person, and I said, "Oh, TC, hey," and he was just like, "Who are you again?" And
He can't help it. So this is going
I
to go
can't.
on this whole podcast. So go ahead.
But and I think I want to say the first song we played together was "The Thrill Is Gone" because we had Ray Neal on rhythm guitar. Um, of course, Sam Joyner was on keys. Theodore Arthur Jr. was on sax. Walter was there. Walter Riley Kane was
That's
there.
right. That's right. That's right.
Um, and then you were on drums, and I want to say either Triblet from Mississippi was on bass that day. I want to say it was him. I could be wrong, but I think it was him. I have to go back and watch the footage. But, and I had a blast because, that was my, first paying gig. And my first paying gig, I didn't even care about the money. I got to play Lucille, my first,
Right.
paying gig. Like one of the Lucille's that was one of those, oh, not many people played this one because this
That's
thing,
right.
So to know like that people like Kev Mo, of course, Ray had played it. Who else had played that guitar? I want to say, I think Mr. Terrell told me, I think Tracy Chapman had played it one time. Um, I mean, just to know that only a few hands had touched that guitar at the time. And then the following year, I was able to do that for this lady from, I want to say she's from Detroit called BB Queen. I don't
Yeah.
know if you've heard of
She's
her.
not from Detroit, but yeah, BB
Okay.
Queen, of course. Yeah.
Um,
She might be from Detroit. I thought she was from BB Queen. Where are you from anyway? I don't.
I want to say it's Detroit. I could be wrong because I honestly could be wrong, but I think it's Detroit. But
I thought she was
you
from
know,
Mississippi, but damn, that's a good question. We'll have to look that up.
yeah, you could probably bring her on the podcast and let her give her spiel.
I will. Shamika is supposed to do it, and she'll be the first female on here. Her and Shamika be
Well, Miss Copeland told me, and she's like an auntie to me. She's like a mom. She told me that she's not doing the podcast. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so anyway, back to the story. And I remember I cried that day that I played Lucille, and Walter. I remember Walter came up to me and he
and he
goes,
said he said you suck. Don't do that.
"No, no," because Walter was soft spoken. He didn't sound nothing like you, which I don't know why anybody would want to sound like Tony. But this is going to be the whole podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we do.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, we throw shots or we tell true stories, but the shots are not harmful. So please don't cancel Tony and I. So he comes up and he goes, "You want to know how you can tell what?" Because Walter was also. Want to know how you can tell what key the song is in that you're playing? And I said, sure. And he goes, "For guitarists, look at the bass player's hand. If you look at the bass player's hand, you'll know what key you're supposed to be in." And I can't make this up. I kept that in mind, and I keep that in mind to
Is it
this day.
is it true?
It's very true because
Really?
depending on what you know, for me, because it's a mental thing for me, if a person has a four-string bass,
Right.
of course, the four strings on a four-string bass is the last four strings going up if you're looking at a regular six-string guitar.
Okay.
So that would be your G, D, A, and E. which would be the last four strings.
Hmm.
So if you look, and you can, and if you can, and if you have decent ears as well, and you can hear the one, you'll be like, oh, okay, we're in G, or yeah, we're in C.
Right.
But if you just in like a jam situation and you really don't know the tune, and you look at the bass player's hands and you see where he's going, you'll be like, oh, okay, we're in the key of F,
Hmm.
because the fretboard lining is pretty much the same. Like I said, the strings are pretty much the same. They're just thicker, and heavier.
Right.
So you can get away with a lot. I do it with my bass player sometimes because I can't lie. I forget the keys to my own songs at times, and I'm like, "Oh, I forgot because somebody be taking a solo, and I know that I'm supposed to come back in, with the solo, and I have to look at my bass player and be like, oh, that's right, we in F sharp. Okay, got it.
You forget the
And
key? You
I forget the
you
key sometimes.
really?
Because I get excited. I also forget words on stage at times because I get so excited. Because I love hearing music. And it's not a situation. I mean, it's not even a case of like, oh, he gets so big headed about his own music that he, like we can be playing a cover, and I get excited that we're playing that cover,
I
and I forget
understand.
the words, and I even say it on the mic, and people laugh. I'll go, forgot the words, and my drummer he'll be like, he'll shaking his head. And he told me, you got to stop telling people you forgot the words. I'm like, no, because people have this, at least I think, people have this thing that musicians are supposed to be like superhumans, that they're not supposed to forget things. They're not supposed to make a mistake. They're not supposed to, have these human moments on stage. So I always try to, not always, but when those human moments happen as a musician, professional musician, I make it known that, oh, okay, well, this is what just happened. I've had my pants fall on stage before because my suspenders popped, uh, and I didn't know how to handle it. So I was like, I had to walk off stage, and as soon as I got off the stage, like as soon as I got behind the curtain, they fell, and it was so dark backstage that the people who worked the festival didn't even know what was going on.
Right.
So I like pulled my pants up, and because I literally walked off stage in the middle of a song. Honestly, we were doing So Excited by BB King.
Right.
And I walked off and I came back and we finished the song. And when the song was over, I was like, I gotta be honest with you all. Um, my pants were falling down and I had to go fix it. And everybody just started applauding and laughed and we went on to the next song.
Well, in my opinion, and I learned to say that from the boss, BB, Tony Coleman, say in my opinion, son, you don't know everything. But anyway, so I do it now. Thank you all, boss. But in my opinion, I think the audiences love it when you're real like that and you make mistakes and you're not all upset and mad and pissed off because I think the best the best musicians come on stage and don't try to portray exactly what they did on the record. It's a live performance. Now it's like, hello, my music, you know my music, but now you have to know me as an artist, as a person on stage. So I think some of the best artists are the ones who just keep it real, as they say, and just be themselves and laugh with the audience and have fun with the audience, and that's what you do. You connect with the people, and if you got emotions, I've seen you on stage on the cruise. You tell a story, and you cry, and it touched your soul, and it touched the people when you do that because you're honest and you're real. And I think that's a rare thing today with artists. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors. They want to portray something that's not real, but that's what the blues is. It's real. It's heart and soul. That's why everybody can
Yes.
relate to the blues. So keep doing it, and stop trying to flash on. Anyway,
We was doing so good. We was doing so good. We was really making progress.
we tried. I went pretty long before I had to throw one in there, but no, man, I think you do great. Now I know when you were in a junior high school and stuff, you were performing. You do James Brown better than James Brown, man. I saw you.
What
Was James Brown one of your favorite artists growing up?
man? I can name on hands, toes, and the hair on my head how many R&B, soul, and funk artists that I had been listening to since I was knee high to a tick.
Right.
Like James. I have this cousin on my mother's side of the family, God rest his soul. He when I was about 5 or 6 and YouTube was becoming like a big deal,
Right.
he would go on YouTube and he would find all these classic R&B, soul, and funk songs and just play them out loud. See, back in the day, I got to tell the young people who will be watching this. Back in the day, we didn't have when you turned up the computer, it wasn't a touch, it wasn't that.
Right.
When you had to turn up, there was this little speaker, and you had two of them. Some people who had real money could get four, five of them, but had this little speaker that was probably about 5, 6 inches tall, and you had to turn a little knob. And if you turn it up too much, it would crackle
Right.
because they were real sensitive. But he would turn those speakers up on that desktop, and he would play James Brown, Sam Cooke, Gene Chandler, the OJs, the Temptations, the Four Tops. I mean, just pretty much any Afro American group or singer from the 50s to about late 70s, he played them.
Right.
And there I would be in my little tidy whities and my little Hanes t-shirt and my socks doing James Brown in the kitchen. We having family get-togethers. I'm in my drawers, my socks, and my shirt. I'm getting down, Jack. But I didn't find out I could do a split until I was about 13. Uh, and that was because of Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers.
Right.
Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I
Right.
watched the film, and because it used to come on cable, I'm sure it still does today. But my step grandmother would, say, "Go in there and watch TV." And so I would watch TV, and because I always wanted to be in the grown people's conversations. Shirley died. What Shirley died from? Oh, you talking about Shirley that was sleeping with Deacon? And then they, hey,
Oh,
hey, hey, hey,
okay.
hey, you go in the living room, go watch TV, go watch TV. So, so,
You ain't never stopped doing that, have you?
uh, only when I'm around Tony Coleman, I have to stop doing it because Tony, I know you ear hustling. He'll go, hey, hey, go get me a hot dog. Go get me a hot dog. Uh, but why do fools fall in love? The film with
Right.
I
Yeah.
think it's Viv K. Fox, Lorenz Tate, a whole bunch of other people. Um, it tells a story about Franklin Lyman of his days with when he was with the teenagers, his marriages, and after the teenagers. And he did a split. And what I thought was the coolest part, he has this song called I think it's called Baby Baby. And he's like counting in a sense. And or maybe baby, something like that. And him and another remember the teenagers would do a split and the guys would like do like put their hands over them like they're puppets. And so they would
Right.
be
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
splits and
Yeah.
bouncing.
Right. Right. Right.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. So
That
one
is
day I
cool.
was I was just fooling around and I was like, I'm gonna do a split. And I did it and came back
And you
up and I was
split your
like,
pants.
Tony, do you have to rain on everybody parade? Like it's
Okay. I'm
just
sorry. I'm sorry.
I thought this was drummers knows best. So drummers should know when to be quiet when somebody's talking.
Okay. Go
I had to
ahead.
pull my Richard Pryor on you got the hush. But but no, I didn't start busting my
Ah.
pants until like my sophomore, junior year of high school.
Yeah.
And that was because I was a growing young man. I was becoming bigger in weight and height and busted some pants. I think the last time I busted a pair of pants was I feel like it was sometime last year, but I don't think it was a split. I think I like squatted down or something on stage and they busted. I'm trying to remember that actually was last year.
Okay.
I'm just trying to remember where, but I mean, I've busted my pants. And, James Brown busted his pants multiple times, especially when he did the movie Ski Party in like
Yeah,
65,
and he
66.
and he did that split, and And then he
Yeah,
noticed he just kind of backed out. Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, he
He was
did.
with his
He
pants.
talks about that. Yeah.
Uh, so James was a big influence. But I just admire so much soul music and R&B music, and blues didn't really become. Well, how can I put? I had always liked blues. I just wasn't aware of other blues artists, and besides BB King, and
I
really
hated
focus
it.
on.
I'm
I
sorry.
hate. You say you hated it? What?
I hated the blues. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I forgot you was in there. Tastes like candy. I can feel it when you walk, even when you talk. It takes over me. And BB is going, well, son, I think you
No, it
need to go
wasn't
back to
BB. It
Bobby
was
Brown.
Bobby Bland. Back to you.
Anyway, uh, so
Stop
this
trying
funny.
to tell on me stuff I tell
I'm
you. Don't be
not. I'm not
telling.
trying to tell on you. You tell on yourself.
Go ahead.
So I mean, it's just the blues. So I started talking. The story is that the way I started talking was actually from BB King's The Thriller's Gone. My family thought I was going to be mute when I got to the age where a child should talk. It's a true story. To the point where they were very close to like, oh, we're about to get this boy tested. Like he might be on the spectrum. Like they were worried because I would go to the refrigerator and I wouldn't say milk or bottle or baba, nothing like that. I would just go, and they're like, this boy sounds like Odd Job from Goldfinger, the James Bond movie.
Right. Right.
So, so one day my mother went to the mall and bought the CD Deuces Wild
Hmm.
and played it in the car as we were heading to like Shreveport or Monroe, Louisiana. And she heard a little voice in the background singing "The Thriller's Gone." Almost wrecked the car. She was happy I was finally talking. And that's actually how I started talking was BB King and Tracy Chapman. Thriller's Gone.
Really?
Um, but I got reintroduced to blues through my oldest cousin, who was she was a real big fangirl, like many of the young black ladies of the late 2000s,
Right.
over Columbus Short, a black actor.
Hmm.
And Columbus Short played Lil Walter in Cadillac Records.
Right. Right.
And I sat there and watched. She was like, "You like this movie? It's about old music. I know you like old music." And I was like, okay." So I checked out the movie and I was like, "Oh, I like this Lil Walter guy. I like that My Babe. That My Babe is hitting." I'll be honest with you, I really didn't care for Muddy Waters until maybe 2, 3 years later. Not saying I didn't like it. It's just I was enjoying harmonica more, so I picked up blues harmonica. I sucked at it, Tony. I sucked. I sound like you when you play harmonica, just like that.
I
You
was
should show the
looking.
people.
I was looking for my harmonica. I got one. Lee also gave me a set of them, and Rick gave me one or two.
I will make sure to send them personal.
And Rick was
Um,
trying to teach me how to play.
well, from what Kyle Rowland told me, it's like sucking through a straw. He said you have to make that kind of, lip position or whatever. That is like sucking through a straw. And I mean, it's too tight for me. Like, I can't do it.
Where's my heart?
So anyway, like Will Walter.
You're right.
And then
That guy did a good job acting like Little Walter too.
yeah, he did.
Is
Because I
he?
mean
Isn't he a rapper?
no, he's just a regular old actor, honestly.
Oh, okay.
And he hasn't been in a like a big Hollywood movie, I want to say since the 2010s, if that.
Excuse me. Uh huh.
Uh you over there doing cocaine or something? So
No, that's if I run for president, I'll do it. Okay.
oh
Anyway, whatever.
so anyway, uh I just saw your nose disappearing, I heard. I got concerned. So yeah, so watch Cadillac Records, and then we had a store called FYE. You remember that, For Your Entertainment?
Uh huh.
Those big music. I see what you're doing, Tony. Um, and It's gonna be a long podcast. Mr. Miles gonna have to do a lot of editing. So FIE was a store that had DVDs, posters, CDs.
You're right.
I think they had video games at one time. So they had one in the Pecan Land Mall in Monroe, Louisiana, and we would go there all the time, almost every other weekend. And I would find something dealing with blues or something dealing with R&B. And I used to have these uh, two disc sets called Essential Delta Blues and Essential Urban Blues. Essential Urban Blues was orange with a brown background, and it had like a picture of like Chicago. And then Essential Delta Blues had like the picture of a plantation, but it was in blue letters. So I got memory like you, Tony. I hope it don't go away. So
That's good.
I was listening to these this disc set, and that's when I discovered artists like Frogman, Henry, who would do the voice impressions, and I came across Elmore James that way, and I wanted to play slide guitar for a little bit. I was horrible at that too. So
So let me interrupt and ask you this:
please,
when did you pick up the guitar?
I picked up guitar when I walked into a surgery that was in progress, and they had this man's intestines out, and I started thumping on it. So that was I just wanted to see your reaction. No, the way I picked up guitar, or when I picked up guitar, was probably about the age of 11 or 12,
Okay, okay.
and
Your humor sucks because I was what the hell, and I forgot. Yeah, it does. Go ahead.
my humor, Mr. Miles, you can edit this out later. Uh, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of all through the podcast. So
So, DK, when did you start playing guitar?
there we go. Hold on, let's do it again. Take three. Okay.
I got
Action.
one of those too. Go ahead.
You got to ask the question again. You messed it up.
I'm listening. We're listening.
Okay. I try to be professional, Mr. Miles. I apologize. So, I want to say I picked up guitar around the age of 11 or 12. The first guitar that I ever got was it was called a Sensonic Pro Series, and it was like a very cheap off-brand version of a Fender Stratocaster. A lot of people don't know that, and I still have that guitar today. And it was fall. It's horrible. It doesn't even have strings on it. The input jack is loose. It was a beat up old guitar, man.
No
Uh,
strings on it?
well, when I got it, it had strings on it.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
but it's been so just beat up over the years that it literally needs like probably a whole crap ton of hardware installation on the inside. But I still have the guitar because it has sentimental value.
Of
My
course.
father's father, Ezekiel Harrell, got it out of a pawn shop for like $50, and he bought the wrong type of amp. He bought me a bass amp to go with the lead guitar.
Yeah, but isn't that okay to have a bass amp?
If you play bass, yeah.
I, I'm not being funny. I mean, would playing a guitar through a bass amp show you how ignorant I am about this? Would it matter a lot?
Well, yes, because if it is essentially like a full bass amp, and it was a PV bass amp. I remember. Oh God, it
That's
was.
the first time in my life I ever wondered about that.
Yeah, it's like if you plugged into um let's say if you plugged into a Mark bass amp,
Yeah.
all your notes, even the high E string, would sound like boom, 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 because it's built for the bass instrument specifically.
Right. Okay.
Now you do have,
Wow, man. I see. Learn something every day. I didn't.
but here's the thing. So the amp that BB used to play, the Lab series, they actually made those to where you could actually play a bass through a Lab series and play lead guitar because it has those frequency changers and all of that stuff.
No, I
So,
want to. I want to ask you another question.
Please,
Uh,
please. Just
so
finger.
I want to ask you another question. So when you say you got a Fender Bassman, is that because the tone is more bass on that amp?
Correct. The low ends are more. How can I put it? The low ends have a higher output. So in other words, you're going to get more of the low end than you will get of the treble end
Okay.
of the high end. So, which makes sense why Buddy Guy uses them because if he was to really ring out his low E,
Mm-hmm.
he could probably sustain it as an open E for 5-10 minutes if he wanted to.
Right.
And I've played through them; they are good amps. I prefer twins or Lab Series or oh, here's one for you. I don't know if you probably were with I don't know. You probably were with BB when he played through one of these a few times in the late 70s. They used to have this amp called a SG system.
Uh
It
huh.
was
Yep.
big and gray with the big knobs. I
Mm-hmm.
actually have one of those.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I
Uh,
remember he played that.
I rarely bring that one out because it's for one, it's heavy as heck.
Yeah. So it's got
Um,
those Black Widow speakers in it.
I ain't looked at those speakers to see what they are. I need to
Those
do that.
Black Widow speakers in twins are heavy, boy.
Man, I got a Music Man too, a Music Man 212.
Music Man, I remember those.
I saw BB play that on I want to say it was either Montreal Jazz Fest or North Sea.
Mm-hmm.
It's him in like I think it's Montreal Jazz Fest when he first played it in the late 70s, and they had him going through a Music Man, and that sucker was humming. Which people can find that footage of him playing through a Music Man because I want to say the video is same old story, same old song, and it's Montreal Jazz Fest. But yeah, so started playing guitar around 11, 12. That was my first guitar, the Sonic Pro Series Strat. And as it fell apart, I begged my mother to buy me another guitar, and I have that one. That is and that guitar's name was Old Blue, and it's
Mm-hmm.
I see your face because you're a drummer. You don't like talking about guitars. It was a D Armand.
I like talking about guitars. I'm not.
No,
I'm
I
not.
see you sitting there going.
No, no. My face expression didn't mean anything itself. Okay,
If it's
old
not
blue.
Mapex, I don't want to talk about it.
No, I was just thinking old blue. Like actually, when you said old blue, I'm thinking was it because the guitar was blue or was it?
Oh yeah, it was blue, and I called it old because it was beat up. It's
Or
still
was it
it's
because you was like BB behind a mule named Old Blue or something? And you got, you know.
no, 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 no. That guitar is called a D Armand. And he says my humor sucks. Uh, it's a D Armand Model 50, and they came out in the late 90s, and they are made in Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Um, but it was real beat up, and this guy at Guitar Center had installed pickups in it, but he did not do it correctly. So the pickups are loose in that guitar to where if I turn the guitar upside down, the pickups fall on the string.
Dang.
But still, I love that guitar to this day. It's actually in the closet, and
What
sometimes I pull it out.
was he? He shouldn't have been working on guitars.
Yeah, he don't work there no more.
Ah, good.
He don't work there no more. I think they had let him go like after the holidays
They
uh,
should.
that year. I mean, not to down the guy. It's just
Yeah, down him.
he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my second. My third guitar, I thank God for student loans. Them student
Okay.
refunds, I thank God for them.
Okay.
And I don't care how the government feel when I say this. When I got my first student loan
Hmm.
refund check,
Yeah. You went and
I'm
bought a
sorry.
guitar.
I'm sorry. I just think about the goodness of God when
You went and
when
bought a guitar
I bought a guitar and an amp
with that government check.
with the government check. Mm. Ooh, you know, I got an Everphone ES 335.
bad. You see me?
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you was in the armed forces, and I heard all the stories about you and Russell, but I ain't gonna bring that up because I know it takes you to a dark place. But I got an Epiphone ES 335 that was black. The amp that I got was a Fender Champion 100, which is it's not tube, it's solid state, but it's supposed to have all these effects where you can make the amp sound like different amps, everything from Fenders
How
to
old were you then when you got that?
17. Yeah, it was after high school, so about 17, 18.
Were you
And my
playing in bands?
no, I was horrible. I sucked, Tony. I can't lie. I try to be honest and humble about things. I sounded like trash.
You didn't play in any bands? No garage bands? Nothing? Not
Well,
at the church or nothing?
I tried to put a band together, and it was gonna consist of my cousin,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which I actually taught my cousin the Clyde Stubblefield beat. You know, that goes like boom, cat, boom, cat. Like I taught him all that, and we would go to his church because he had the keys to it. We would go to his church on like a Thursday, a Friday night, and
Yeah.
be playing James Brown in church. But
They doing it now, man. They playing P
that's
Funk in
true.
church, so it's all right.
You're right. I mean, John P. Key had Quincy Jones's I can't think of the name of this song. The boom 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 boom. He had that whole thing in a whole church song. Um, but anyway, I did put together a little band. It was my cousin, uh, Caleb. I can't think of Caleb's last name now because Caleb is a great guy. I haven't seen him in years. Caleb was on rhythm guitar, or was he on bass? I feel like he was on rhythm guitar or bass. Then we had Noah Wheeler on keys, and we would just go like to this man cave that Noah's family had, like kind of outside of Ruston, and we would just be playing stuff. So like we played. There's actually a video somewhere. I don't know where it's. I probably done deleted it, but there's like a
I'd
video.
love to
But
see that video.
oh, it's. I forgot all about this. Uh, I'm glad we're doing this because you're bringing up a lot of stuff that I need to jot down. We played "Stand by Me." We weren't singing it. We were just playing around with the bass line, and so I'm like playing guitar, to it and all that. And I think it sounded okay at the time, but I could be wrong. But so I tried to do that. Then we kind of stopped meeting up because everybody. I mean, we started to become adults and get
Right.
interested in different things. And I had to actually stop playing guitar from the age of 16 to about the age of, no, I take that back. Yeah, I had stopped playing guitar from the age of 13 to the age of 16. So I went, 3 years without playing guitar and picked it back up. And I
You
didn't
just
learn
you
how to
just
tune.
stop. You just stop.
Because I was doing my James Brown stuff then. Have you seen the pictures like with the hair and like I was going all out like that was sad.
I saw that.
People, I can't lie. I had a couple of
You
classmates
you
who
got
thought I
house
was
though. You got house
no. I got insulted.
at
uh,
the school. I saw the one at the school.
yeah, at the school. Uh, when I did that at the school, which was I think the first time I did a pep rally performance. Uh,
And they went nuts.
yeah, but then I had people questioning my sexuality. I was like, are you gay? Are you? Do you like boys? And I'm
Wait,
like,
hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
I'm finna tell you why.
Doing James Brown and that made someone ask you if you were gay.
Because I'll be honest with you. If you look at my generation when they were younger,
Right.
many, at least in my community, I just say I speak for the young people in my community.
Okay.
Many, if not all of them, were not familiar with James Brown, and they weren't familiar with conks.
Okay, stop. You lived in a community that somebody in that community weren't familiar with James Brown?
Well, because the two
Where the hell did
dominant,
you grow up, son?
I grew up in Ruston.
Okay,
This
all right.
is this
All
is a
right, continue.
community where the young people, if it ain't rap, with the Afro American community, if it's not rap, it's not it's not cared
in,
for.
in, in your generation.
Yeah, in my
Yeah,
generation,
yeah,
if it
yeah.
was
Okay,
rap,
I get it.
they cared
Yeah,
for it.
yeah,
If it was
right,
not
right.
rap, they were like, ugh.
Okay.
Uh, and I can't lie, even with but what was funny was that I had, I can't lie, because of my taste in music, I had more white friends because they knew these artists more than, being honest, more than the Afro Americans. When it comes to the young people, and I thought to myself,
Kind of like it is with black people today with the blues.
yeah, I mean,
You
it's
don't see too many
heartbreaking.
young people. I never had a young person pull up beside me in a car and one going. I never heard them pull up beside me and heard.
There
So
was
it's
one guy.
okay.
No, there was one guy that lived in our neighborhood, who was one of our classmates' father, and he lived like around the block. And I can't make this up. He would be playing dominoes with his friends, and they have like a little in-house sound system, and he would be playing Muddy Waters and Lil
Okay.
Walter. I mean, loud, just hear
But
it.
nobody thought he was gay for doing that, did they?
No, because he was maybe in his 50s. So it made sense to the younger people, like, oh, he's 50 years
So
old playing that music.
because you had the James Brown, you put on the James Brown wig, and
No, that wasn't the wig. That wasn't the wig. That
it
wasn't the
wasn't a
wig.
wig,
No.
or your hair was that you had it straight like that.
My mother,
It wasn't a Jerry curl.
my mother, every night, if not every other night, would put my hair in curlers, and I put my little bonnet on, and I learned how to sleep. I can't make this up.
Hold on a minute. We want to understand. You said you put on the bonnet. Isn't a bonnet the little thing that be on across the head like a bonnet?
Like a dome. Yeah.
Yeah, not a scarf,
No, not a scarf.
a bonnet.
It's like a bonnet is like a big kind of covered scrunchie in a
I
sense to
think
hold
I
your
know what a
hair.
bonnet is. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Uh, she would put my
Okay.
hair. I'm serious. She would put my hair in curlers, and because the way the process would go was that she would perm it, of course, and then she would put my hair in curlers, and I would sit in the chair, and she would go, "Okay, now we're gonna put your bonnet on, so your curlers will stay in place,
Okay.
and I'm gonna teach you how to sleep, so you don't mess up your hair."
Like
And so
on the movie with Ice Cube and
Snoop Dogg and yeah,
she was sleeping like this all night because she didn't want to mess her hair up and she. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my mother was like, "You want to sleep on your side? You do it like this." But what I did, what I would do is I would take
Well,
all the
not that.
pillows.
Go ahead.
I would take all the pillows, put them up against my headboard, and I came into I would go to sleep sitting up. And my mother never understood how I could go to sleep like that. But it's because I didn't want to
Well, you were
mess up
just
her
getting
hair.
practice for being on the road traveling, so you sleep standing up. She was training you for that.
Yeah. So I wake up the next morning, go in the bathroom. We would have to wake up an hour before our
Well,
actual
well,
leave
well,
time.
well, before I make this next statement that I'm
Oh,
thinking,
please.
we're not against people being gay or anything at
Oh,
all. We don't care about whether you're gay or we don't care about none of that stuff. But I have to say this, that's pretty gay, I think.
now how you gonna? Not Mr. Miles got to edit that out.
No, man. That's my sense of humor. God dang, everybody's so sensitive, man.
I'm not sensitive.
You just
Not
said I
a,
was snorting cocaine because I did this, blew my nose.
So you just be blowing your nose while people talking. That's rude. But
But I
I'm
sometimes I'm
I'm
rude.
I'm I'm, I'm, I'm,
Sometimes I'm rude like that. So they were thinking you were gay because you were doing the James Brown with the conch and the bonnet you had on, and so what's the point? What was the question? How did we get to this?
well, because you asked me about, liking James Brown and stuff. So anyway,
Okay, okay.
ooh, a lot of editing, a lot of editing. So
I ain't edited a thing. This is entertainment, man. This is fun.
so
I
so.
like this. You the only one that I've had on my podcast that I have a. I mean, like I'm really having fun messing with you right now, DK Harrell.
Oh,
This is
thank you. I
fun.
appreciate that.
Because you
And
mess with me
that's
all the time. So this is good. Now people can
oh, that's
see
great.
how. And Rick Astor, you and Rick Astor, probably the only one that I really mess with that we jab each other and throw licks and stuff like we're doing. I love you. Go ahead.
If Rick was here, he would probably say something like, "Well, if me and Tony go back a lot of years, and we've been through a lot of shit together, and it's been beautiful. He's been great."
Rick's gonna do the podcast, my podcast. He asked me yesterday. I told him I was doing you. Well, that ought to be good. Yeah, you need to get him on there. Okay. Go ahead.
I love Rick.
Rick, he started it. Go ahead.
So anyway, so when I was 16, so
Okay.
this is like 2013. This is where I first saw you in person and didn't know I was seeing you.
Where was that?
January 19th, 2013, the Baton Rouge River Center Theater. I sat in the orchestra pit, which is really just the first lower level,
Right.
row S, and on stage was Tony Coleman, Boogaloo Bolden, Walter Riley King, Stanley Abernathy. Melvin was not there.
Melvin wasn't there?
Melvin wasn't there. Ernest Van Treese, Reggie Richards on bass.
Mm.
And I had a blast that night.
I think Melvin had fell on his arm off the bus and hurt his arm that then.
Well,
You
he
had
he was not he was not
you
there
had a
because
blast.
he didn't do the introduction.
You had a blast at that gig.
Oh man,
Well,
I
why was
cried
it
that
so?
night.
Why did you have such a blast? Because you noticed how great the drummer was.
Connor, that's not in the script.
Go ahead.
No, the music was. I mean, for BB to be, you know, a couple years shy, from his time of passing. So to be, I want to say at the time his birthday had not passed, so he had to be about 87 or 88 right then.
Hmm.
Um, for him to come out the way he did, and I mean, put on. I remember it like it was yesterday. BB then people that booed him in 2014 in St. Louis, I think it was. All those people who booed him, I hope, and I'm saying this like with the most utmost, trying not to be disrespectful. The people who booed him in 2014 when he was having a human moment, they should all be ashamed of themselves to this
That
day.
hap- that happened a lot as he got older, and if you go on YouTube and see me, I mean, I do it anyway. When I'm playing, I'll be like, cause I be feeling that groove. I be very seldom do I be on stage, but many times, man, I would be so pissed off because people were like, "Baby, shut the hell up! You suck, sing, old man." Blah, blah. Man, I want to get off that stage. I'd be like Richard Pryor talking about that lion in the jungle, boy. If I that bear in the zoo, boy, if I could just get my hold to your ass, man. Yeah, it was pretty sad that people would do that to him, but people can be cruel, as we all know that.
I mean, like it when I saw that footage on the news, and that's the thing, you broadcast it on the news, like the man and him. Any other time, he having a good show. It ain't all over the news. But as soon as he gets booed, it's all over the news. And it's like because this man had one bad day because he is freaking 80 some years old.
Right.
He's a diabetic, probably a touch of arthritis, probably a touch of, Alzheimer's or something of that nature, just due to old age, and you boo him.
Yeah.
The same things that you could possibly go through, people in the audience, 30, 10, 20, 30, 40 years from that time, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And then what makes it even worse, I'm pretty sure somebody in that audience had a family member or a friend
Right.
who has those type of moments. But because he's an entertainer, you think he's supposed to be all AI. He's supposed to be artificial intelligence. You can't mess up. You a robot. You can't mess up. And it's like, no, he's human. And I'm sorry. I've been holding that in for a long time. I'm
No,
sorry.
I agree with you. It's
Because
terrible.
when I watched the Hulu documentary, BB King on the Road, and Boogaloo told the story about, the House of Blues incident. You know, like come on, people. Have a heart. The man literally gave you every bit of him for over 60 years,
Yes, he did.
which not many can say that. Not many can say that. James Brown did not even hit 60 year, type of ordeals with his career. Uh Jackie Wilson died at like 40 some years old, being in a coma after a car accident or something. Like it's just people have to stop these fantasies of, well, he was great when I saw him in 1952, so he better be just as great in 2030. And it's like, no, it ain't the way the body work.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get old, and you gonna lose some things, you're gonna gain some things. And to me, seeing all you guys at that performance, to me, that was top tier BB. Because he was playing his butt off. I was up dancing, people were cheering. Lil Ray Neal and Tyree opened up the show that night. Uh, After the show, I went down to the front of the stage. I even asked my mom, I said, "Do you want to go to the front of the stage?" She said, "No, there's too many people down there. I'll be outside waiting for you." And I went down there, kind of, excused myself through some people. And I
Right.
remember there was a lady to my right who had her husband's Kangol hat. And she was like, "Can you sign my husband's hat, Mr. King? Can BB, can you sign?" And so I was on BB's right side. And what's the big light skinned ball guy? Is it Randy? I can't think of his name. He was one of the like personal assistants or guards.
Reggie?
Reggie, that's it. Reggie was on BB's left.
Hmm.
And I screamed out, "Mr. Kane, Mr. Kane." And he looked dead at me, and I was just like, "Oh God," he's looking at me. And I had my hair uh in a process, but my hair was a little lower than what it is now. But I had enough to where I could comb it backwards.
Right.
So it had like a little bit of curl in it, but it was like kind of combed back. And I said, "I got my hair like you had yours in the '50s." And he started laughing. He said, "Well, the old man ain't got much hair now." I said, "I
Did
want to be
you
just
did
like you
you
when I grow up." No,
continue
please.
after this? I just got a question. Did
No,
you have your
please, please.
bonnet? Did you have your bonnet on? Did you?
Mr. Miles, I think this podcast is over. I'm tired
Okay,
of
go ahead. Yeah. Okay, I had to cut bring it in. I was thinking about.
No,
Go
I didn't
ahead.
have my bonnet on.
Okay.
So so
That was a good one though, wasn't it?
God, this it was going good too. And interrupted me for nothing. So I said, he said, "Well, the old man ain't got much left." And I said, "I want to be just like you when I grow up." And he goes, "Well, that's good, son. That's good. I hope I did the right thing, and hopefully you make better decisions than what I made." And he leaned down At 80 something years old.
Why is it when everybody tell a story about BB, you start sounding like BB?
Because he had a distinct voice, that's why. It's true. Everybody, well, I won't say everybody. Some people just say, I haven't seen, I mean, no disrespect, but I haven't seen white people do it. Because every person that's white that's told me a story of BB when they met him, and like, he talked to you like a child, and he sat there and he was just like, I want you to do good, and but then when you talk to a black person, they try to, they try to imitate them.
Yeah.
Um,
You try to get those inflections of the tone and
yeah.
yeah.
So he shook my hand,
Okay.
and I remember running up the little aisleway or whatever to
You
go
were
outside.
happy, boy. You were happy.
Oh, bro! As soon as I stepped out that door, I was crying, Tony, crying,
Wow.
tears. I was crying, and my mom, before I even get it out, my mom said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I met BB King," and she just hugged me. And to this day, actually, let me see. Yeah, Tony, stay right
uh,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see. To this day, that same ticket from over 10 years ago sits on my fireplace mantle.
Look, don't have that ticket out in the air like that.
Look, I'm
Put
sorry.
put that ticket in. Don't laminate it, but put it inside of a sealed, tight situation of clear plastic, what have you, and keep that thing and
Scrapbook.
put it in a frame. In my opinion,
No, in my opinion, I'm going to do that. It's
because the
just I've
first thing
been
gonna happen, you're gonna get some water on it. It's gonna fall or something. You just got it sitting out in the open like that, man.
actually
That's
it stayed. Actually, I had the same wallet when I was 16, right? And that ticket stayed in in that little sleeve that's in the back where you can't see stuff.
yeah.
It stayed in there.
And
Oh,
keep everything of your career until when you get old like me. You have your whole history. Carlos Santana has everything he's ever done and documented. He's on his lab site on his website. He even the jam sessions I've done with him. You can see my name up there. Do that for your career. Make sure you keep everything, man, because it's important that you have these things when you get older.
did you just call this man Colonel Santana?
Colonel Santana.
I heard you say Colonel Santana.
Carlos sent Carlos sent that was the Negro in me came out kind of
Oh, I'm sorry. You're
when
speaking black.
I was kind of blackish.
Gotcha. But no, I try to keep like I took those pictures.
At least
Believe it
I
or not.
wasn't. I just hey mine get him look here mine get that dang ticket mine that goddamn anyway do what I said please for
I,
yourself.
I am, but I want to show you something here.
Yeah.
I have this in a picture book. That's all of us. Oh, let me see if I can get it. You see that? That's you, me,
Yeah.
Walter, Jimmy Mays. You digging in Walter's pocket, talking about I need to get some money, man, and you started reaching in his pocket. See, so I be documenting stuff.
Good.
I got me and Mama Bland.
Great.
Let's see, Johnny Riley, me and
Great.
Ray. You think I be missing which when I say I got stuff documented. Yeah, that was Tino Triplet on bass. And here's another crazy thing.
What?
I kept oh, this is great. I
What?
forgot I had this in here. I kept the Greyhound bus tickets that I took. See, they've been in this book and they faded just because of time. These are the Greyhound bus tickets from Indianola and to Indianola. But here's one you're gonna really love.
Right.
Look at that. I said Club Ebony. That's after we got through jamming. And you told me you said, son,
Did you
you ain't
think?
gonna
What did I say?
you said, son, you ain't gonna be shit. And I said, just like you, Mr. Coleman, just like you. And
I
And we know.
promised you something, and I haven't done it yet. I'm not gonna comment on what you said. I I got something for you that I told you I was gonna give you,
Oh, nice.
but not this one. It's the one that I actually had on my truck, and it's kind of beat up.
Rather, you gonna give me the one on your truck?
The one off of my truck.
Now, here's the thing, Tony.
Yeah,
People
people,
have
come on, son.
they have sent me memorabilia
Uh
in
huh.
regards to BB. They sent me letters. Like this lady gave me 2 tickets from when BB played the Vicksburg Convention Center, June of 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's a lady named Priscilla Warswick. Here's what since we talking about drummers, drummers knows best, which I don't think Tony Coleman did. But the point is, uh, this lady named Priscilla Warswick, sweet lady. You won't believe who she used to be neighbors to.
And she lives in Vicksburg,
No, 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 no. She lives on
northeast of what?
the northeast of the United States. Did you fail world geography?
So northeast could be New York, Boston,
Okay, she
Connecticut.
lives, I want to say, in the Rhode Island, Massachusetts area, right around there.
Okay. And who did she live to next to? She lived next to Chubby Checker.
No, no, no. He was a drummer of BB's.
Oh, a drummer of BB's.
Mm-hmm.
BB never had a drummer that lived in Massachusetts.
I didn't say he lives in Massachusetts. I said it's in that area.
He never had a drummer in that area that lived in that area. BB King never had a drummer from Massachusetts area.
I didn't say he was from there. I said he lived in that area for a little while.
Oh well, that's okay. That's possible.
Yeah,
So it
it is
must have
possible.
been. So it must have been Sonny Freeman.
She lived next to Sonny Freeman.
Okay, there you go.
So either when Sonny moved or passed away, is one of the two. He gave her some uh, some 1970s like publicity photos
Yeah,
of BB and Sonny
and it
Freeman and the
says Sonny
Unusual.
Freeman and the Unusuals. Those pictures. You
Yeah.
got one?
So this is what I did because of the home that I was living, which I'm in the home that I used to live in because it's so old and stuff.
Right.
What I did respectfully, and you can be upset all you want to, I really don't care. But
So you put his picture in place of my picture and threw my pictures way away. Is that what
no,
you
I did one better.
what?
I took those pictures that she gave me and I donated them to the BB King Museum to put in an exhibit one day. To when they focus more on his 70s area at some point.
You you loaned it. You didn't give it to him.
No, no, no. I said, hey, Mr. Terrell, I would like to give these to the museum because these pictures are not displayed. And he actually told me, he said, well, we don't have these. We don't have any of these in our archives. I said, okay, well, add these to the archives. Because the way I look at it is like this. Heard so many stories of people having, obtaining, whether it be from an auction, from a friend, stranger, you know, these nice little things of memorabilia. And it's not the fact that it's worth money, it's the fact that, man, this was a part of history. And so if you bring it to, the place, like the
Right.
main place of whatever that subject matter is, and they say, hey, we don't have this, that means you got something that's really valuable, not in a
Yeah.
financial way, but in a historical way.
Yeah. Of course.
So my thing is this: even if they take those and say we're going to put them in the archives room and they might not ever be displayed to the public, that is fine with me because at least I know they are rightfully preserved, you know, and correctly preserved the right way. Like we can't preserve Tony Coleman because the body would go bad. But the point is, we have to take care. of certain artifacts and certain parts of history. And this is why coming to you, I tell people that, folks like you, Russell, when Walter was here,
Yeah.
Better Arthur Jr., even people that didn't play in BB's band, he plays bass, and he played bass for Miles Davis at one point. I can't think of his name. We did a festival with him. Come on, help me
Daryl,
out, Tony.
not Daryl Jones, was it?
Not Daryl Jones. Back
Uh,
bass player, tall and slim.
from
Uh,
Chicago.
oh, what's his name? Because he got his
Finn,
own.
Finn, Finn.
Not Fenton, no. Oh, what is that man's name? Because we all took pictures with him too. Marcus Miller.
Oh, Marcus. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Marcus Miller, all those cats. You
Yeah.
guys are what I call walking museums.
We are, and I'm glad you mentioned that because but this isn't about me. I'm not gonna go into that. I'll do that on my own thing. But I do appreciate that you acknowledge us for playing with BB King because there's never going to be another BB King, Miles Davis, Mahalia Jackson, and all the black artists and people who helped change James Brown and all of us side men as they call us that played with those people. Michael Jackson. There's not any long list of people can say they played with those people. So I'm honored, and since others don't appreciate it, I appreciate it, and I'm going to continue. Like when BB died, he said, "Don't let them forget me, son," and I'm not. But you're doing a great job of reminding people about the man because we went around the world, and he was representing the United States State Department as an ambassador of music for America, and he did a lot for the world other than just playing the blues. He was a good human being, and you're doing that. You're on the same path as BB. People love you, man. You entertain people. You make them happy, and that's what you do. And keep doing it the way you're doing it, in my opinion.
Thank you, Tony.
And and I love you, man. I mean, I'm happy for you. And I've tried to always be there for all the younger black musicians, white musicians, Greek musicians, French musicians, period. Everybody that want to embrace what we do. I'm always trying to be an ambassador like BB to, engage young people to do what we do when I'm gone. So I know you're gonna be laughing and having a good time. That's what I'm all about. And talking shit.